Good evening. It's an honor to be up here to have the chance to speak in front of you and specifically talk a little bit about Sarah. Sarah came up through Zealand West and graduated in 2012, and Sarah's freshman year was my freshman year. It was a fresh out of college coach who got hired for a track position that probably not very many people applied for. I had very little clue what I was doing. Fast forward 11 years, and over the last 11 years, I've coached hundreds of athletes, and I'd like to think I know a little bit more of what I'm doing. Throughout that time, and throughout the 100 of athletes that I've had the honor to coach and teach and mentor, there's very few that embody the concept or the idea of student athlete. What set Sarah apart was that she was a multi-sport student athlete. And when you do as much as Sarah did, it can be really hard to balance all of those things. I remember Sarah's freshman year. Sarah was busy. On top of that, somewhere in there we should probably put dancer, because that also took a lot of her time and a lot of her energy. I'm sure she'll share a little bit about that as well, but there were a lot of meets, including some pre-state meets where Sarah would literally get on the track in her spikes with her hair done, and her dress clothes on and run her race, and she would not stop until she got off the track and into her car, and then would go to the dance competition. And I think when I think back to her freshman year, what stuck out to me was her bubbly personality. She was that freshman that was unsure of herself. She was trying to figure herself out, and she was always good for that awkward laugh to fill in the awkward moments. And she still has that ability to make the group laugh. She was a great teammate. She was a great friend. Fast forward through 11 years, and the things that Sarah has accomplished are pretty inspiring. She was a state qualifier in both track and swimming and diving. She was a co-captain in both sports her senior year, and was a great leader. She was a great mentor to the students that were below her. And again, I want to highlight student athlete. You'll see if you look in the book, you can highlight all of those academic awards, and I think that again is a huge credit to her. In the sport of track, she was a school record holder in the 100 hurdles until just a couple years ago. She still holds our freshman record. She helped our team to multiple top 10 finishes at the Mitka State Meet and several regional and conference runner-up finishes. In swimming and diving, she helped lead she helped lead her team to 3 OK Green titles and was voted all-conference 3 years. She set school records as well as the Holland Aquatic Center 11 dive record. Her senior year, she was voted the MISC Zone 5 Diver of the Year, along with All-State and All-American honors, including All-American academic honors as well. After high school, she went on to the U of M, where she dove. She was a 4-time regional zone qualifier. She was also voted a senior captain there and helped lead U of M to their first big title in 12 years. She was voted a National Strength and Conditioning Association All-American athlete and earned countless academic awards during her time at U of M, including 4-time U of M Athletic Academic Achievement Award, 3-year Academic All-Big Ten Team, 2-time Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, and the Big Ten Sportsmanship Award nominee. When I think back over my time with Sarah, one of the things that I enjoy doing as a coach, and I would probably say that any coach in here would agree with this, that our greatest joy is watching the development of boys and girls, 13 and 14 years old, and then into the development of men and women. And I think that I got to go to Sarah's wedding in December and kind of see that transition along. But starting out as that bubbly freshman who was unsure of her ability, to watch her go through those experiences at U of M, I want to share a quote that she sent me. After her junior year, which didn't end the way she wanted it to go, she sent me an email after I had sent her a congratulations on a great season. She said, "Even though I was upset and struggling, I wouldn't change any of it. It brought about motivation and a desire to train hard this summer before my last season, but also to remember the importance of my participation in diving, to engage with my teammates, and to be real, not only with my team, but with myself as well. In reality, those two competitions don't define me as a diver, and diving doesn't define me as a person." So that was after her junior year. Kind of had a freak thing that the season ended in a way that she didn't want it to end. Fast forward it to the end of that senior season where they had just won the Big Ten title, and she sent these words. She said, it's kind of in the middle of the email, but it said, "Focused freedom." Those two words allowed me to be free exactly where I was and to find focus on the greater purpose. I was free to compete and perform without having my self-worth and self-acceptance on the line. I was able to be free in my understanding that my team had my back and that we were in it together. Acknowledging my freedom allowed me to perform to the best of my ability. There was no reason to hold back, and there was no room for self-doubt, as I had spent hours and hours perfecting my skills. It was time to shine and to perform and to have fun and to enjoy the moment. The pressure was off, and because we were all free, we were able to have the meat of our lives and perform with focus and determination. When I read that sentence as a proud coach, I saw so much more than a Big Ten championship, and I saw so much more than an athlete. I saw a student athlete who had gone from that young girl to a woman. And tonight, please join me in bringing Sarah Kamstra up to the stage.
All right, thanks Mr. Vandegooch for introducing me, and thank you to those of you who have made the decision to induct me into Zeeland Athletics Hall of Fame. I'm filled with so much gratitude to have the opportunity to share in this special day with all of you. Over the past few months leading up to tonight's event, I've had the opportunity to reflect on my involvement with athletics. When I think back to some of my first memories with Zeeland Athletics, I think back to when I was about 4 years old. Some of you in the audience might actually remember me at this age. My mom was helping coach the swim team, and I often went with her to practices. I would spend hours at the pool, and I can remember running up to Mike Torrey, hiding Tootsie Rolls to the side or behind his chair, and running away. What I didn't know at the time was that the same pool deck would be the pool where I began my diving career. In 8th grade, I began diving following my gymnastics career. I had to learn how to take my ability to do flips and twists and learn how to do a flip and a twist and then enter the water with little to no splash. I also had to learn how to enter the water without plugging my nose and at times landing head first, which we know you don't want to do with gymnastics. Believe it or not, I also couldn't jump into the pool without plugging my nose at that time. At regionals my freshman year, I looked up into the stands to find my mom doing a cartwheel. Over the course of the season, we had realized that I competed much better if I was having fun, and sure enough, looking up into the stands and seeing my mom do a cartwheel helped loosen me up, and I qualified for state that year, which led to many more involvements with state meets. Other memories that stand out to me from my diving career at Zeeland include early morning practices followed by team breakfast, learning how to lift weights, winning conference championships, and deciding to dive in college. Some memories that stand out to me from track include team dinners the evening before a meet, learning to pole vault, the annual spring swim fundraiser at Camp Geneva, the smell of fresh spring air, and watching the coaches actually run a coaches relay. I know Coach actually talked about this a little bit, but there was actually one meet that I ran a race with my spikes on, my leotard underneath my uniform, ran my race and ran into the car to run onto the stage to balance the activities that I was involved with. Another significant memory that stands out to me about my track career was not actually on the track or in the pole vaulting pit, but actually it was in an indoor practice in the middle of the winter. There were only a few of us, and Coach actually noticed that I was a little bit on edge. Instead of telling me to run faster or push harder, he pulled me aside and sat next to me as he began to ask questions about what was going on. As I began to share about what I was experiencing, he offered me faith and insight without judgment or telling me to keep running. He offered me strength and perspective in the midst of a trying time. To me, this story does a great job of summarizing the power of sports and opportunities coaches have to positively influence their athletes. Coach, thanks for meeting me with perspective and insight on this particular day. The life lessons and strength I learned from my time with Zeeland Athletics greatly shaped the way I entered into my collegiate diving career at the University of Michigan. I had the opportunity to compete with the best of the best, be coached by some of the most successful collegiate coaches, and continue to challenge myself to pursue excellence both in the diving well and in the classroom. During my collegiate career, I experienced a coaching change, many cups of coffee with teammates, a team camping trip, and travels across the country to represent the Block M. I had the opportunity to take Bo Schembechler's sayings of the team, the team, the team, and those who stay will be championships, and allow them to become more than just a saying, but become a way of life. Through my collegiate career, I learned the importance of the team and learned the value of what a championship really means. Our team won the Big Ten swimming and diving championships during my senior year as a captain. This championship not only gave me a title and a ring to hold on to, but it also gave me understanding that whether we won the championship or not, my athletic career had provided me with the character, strength, and determination that would allow me to be a champion in life. I recently moved to Dallas, Texas, following my wedding, and have embarked on the journey of marriage. It's evident to me that the lessons I learned through the sports have also translated to my ability to walk through this significant time of change in my current career as a substance abuse therapist. So I recognize the common thread through the stories I've shared as the concept of connection and being part of something larger than myself. I participated in all team sports, but they all had an individual component. My points from diving or from my races would ultimately affect the team score, and this significant lesson allows me to draw the conclusion that not only in sport, but also in life, that who you are and what you do matters. As we are part of something much larger than ourselves, we have the opportunity to positively impact those around us, whether it's a team, career, friendships, or family. I'd like to bring these memories full circle and would like to encourage you to consider the importance of life lessons learned through sports. Setting goals and pursuing dreams, being part of something larger than yourself, creating change and experiencing self-growth, accepting the unknown, embracing the journey, having fun along the way, and understanding that who you are and what you do matters. I'd like to thank Coach Vandegooch, Mr. Inman, Mr. Torrey, Nancy Clyde, Becky Van Ravensway, my husband Josh, and my brothers, and anyone else who has impacted me and supported me along the way. I also want to thank you, Mom and Dad, for the countless athletes that you've also impacted in a way that only coaching can do, and also the way that you've affected and impacted both my brothers and I, not only as athletes, but as individuals as well, and the lessons that you taught us from when we were yay high to carry us through to our careers and our personal lives now. So with that, thank you.